All right, so I want to do a video here on my Coleman Extreme Marine cooler. It's a big one. It's 150 quarts, 223 cans marine cooler, high performance marine cooler. Well, I've had it camping before. I love it. It's nice and big. It holds all our food that we need. But there was one thing that I didn't like about it is it was all open inside. So you put ice in it, and if you didn't buy enough ice, it just sat at the bottom. And then if you had hamburger or something else like that that went underwater as the ice melted, that everything became slimy. So what I've done in my cooler here, I have got some closed cell styrofoam, and I made 3 compartments. And then I bought a small cooler to sit over here, PBR. So hopefully what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to put, you know, the blue ice packs and stuff to keep my meat and butter and stuff that I don't want getting wet inside this cooler. And then over here I have made ice blocks. I have two 2-quart containers that I've been making ice blocks for the last 2 weeks, and I also have a container that had lunch meat in that I'm making ice from. So let me go get those and put them in here, and we'll see how much we can put in the cooler with the ice blocks and see if we can get the ice blocks and the ice to last all week long while I'm on vacation. So let me get the ice blocks. I'll show you them. Here is my 2-quart, actually I think it's 2 quarts, containers I've been making ice out of. I've been making it for about a week now, and here's some bags I have ice in. So let me get the ice blocks out. I have some other ones I did at work because we have a freezer at work, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So far, here's what the ice blocks look like. I have 9 of them right now in this cooler. I also have some loose ice that I got from a bar that sometimes I go to, but usually not, that I got some free ice from them. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sodas, and mostly water. We really don't drink that many sodas. So I'm going to fill that up. And over here I'm going to use the light blue ice packs. I have more ice that I made that I'm going to put in my other cooler. So let me get this all loaded up, and we'll see. Hopefully with these ice blocks I'll be able to have ice for the whole week. So at work I had this Hillshire Farms container, and I also made ice blocks out of that. I have 1, 2, I have 3.5 because that one wasn't in the cooler when I came home, so it partially melted. So I have 18 bottles of water and a 12-pack of soda in here. This is still empty. And then I got this from my friend that works at that bar. They have an industrial ice maker, so she gave me all that ice. So I'm gonna put some of that on top of there, move some of the ice blocks into this cooler, so I have a separate cooler to put in the back here, so when we're going down the road we can get cold drinks. So we'll still see how everything goes here. Okay, so I filled the rest up with ice. I still have ice left in here. I have 4 of the ice blocks I made out of the Hillshire Farms container, and I'm going to put those in the bottom and put more stuff in this cooler too. Okay, the first round of videos, those were on Friday. So now it is Sunday morning, and I added a few more things, but let me move the milk out of the way. You can still see I have a lot of ice, and my ice block is still good, and I've added more ginger ales, and the ice is still good. I took out one of the blue packs in here and put it in the freezer of my camper to refreeze that. Let's go up on the side seat and look how much ice is left in the small cooler. And here's the small cooler. I still have my big ice chunk there and an ice chunk there, and we're still doing pretty good in here. Not as good. This one isn't as well insulated as the Coleman cooler. We needed something to easily get drinks out of. All right, well, I'll keep you all updated on the ice situation. Well, here we are in Ohio. All right, it's Monday morning, about 11 o'clock, and we're going to check on the ice situation in the big cooler. As you see, move the milk out of the way. We still have ice, nice big ice block there. And I have to admit, I do believe this was a great idea, and what I've done here is I've actually taken the mat and put over top. I have one below and one up top. What I it is there. I got it wrapped around the side, and I have a coolie thing here. Actually, I think I might take this one in and put it back in the refrigerator or the freezer in my camper to get that one cold. But I do like these because you can cover stuff up. So we started Friday, now it's Monday, and we still have plenty of ice and the ice blocks over here. But unfortunately, what has not done so well is the igloo cooler. The igloo cooler, there is no ice left. Oh, wait a minute, I am incorrect. There is still my ice blocks left, but I have my ice blocks left, but all the other ice is gone. So I'll keep checking on it and see. It's still nice and cold in there, so I'm just gonna leave the water in there and let it eat. All right, well, it's Tuesday, and here's my igloo cooler. There is one tiny piece of ice still floating around in my igloo cooler. So, and the water's still nice and cold. So, that one did okay. Now we come back here to the Coleman Extreme Marine cooler, and in here, most of my ice has melted that I got the cubed ice, but there is still a huge block of ice there. Still a huge block of ice here, and over here under the milk there's a huge block of ice, and there's another one over here. So I would say that the Extreme cooler does pretty well. All my sodas and everything is still nice and cold, and then this worked out really good. I would highly recommend using these blankets. These blankets are still cold. I did refreeze one of the blankets. I put one of the blankets at the bottom and one at the top, and this freezer pack is still cold. But I like the blankets because you can cover up stuff with the blanket. So I put one blanket at the bottom, one blanket at the top. I took and refroze one of those blankets. And of course, you can see my cooler's floating in the water. So 5 days, I still have some ice. All my stuff is still cold. Probably have to buy some ice tonight or tomorrow. All right, it's Tuesday night, about 6 o'clock, and we left the cooler in the Henry Ford Museum parking lot all day long. I still have some chunks of ice and some water. I let a bunch of the water out, so I went ahead and bought 2 bags of ice. So my ice did last for 5 days, and we'll put some ice there just to keep everything else cold. All right, well, it's Thursday night, and I did have to buy 2 bags of ice, 7 pounds each, and now nothing but water. The water's still nice and cold. I'll tell you what, if you want, you should get these ice blanket things. I bought these at Wal-mart. These things rock. You put one at the bottom of the cooler, one at the top of the cooler, like a blanket, and they last a long time. I actually refroze this one in my camper cooler, my camper refrigerator. It didn't freeze it solid like it did at the house, but these things lasted a good 2 to 3 days inside this cooler, inside the other cooler. So I'd highly recommend it. So there we go. I definitely got by with having to only buy 2 bags of ice. And it's Thursday night at 9 o'clock now.